All right, just wanted to bring you guys in before we start to button this up. So I did add a tie wrap right here, kind of trying to pull the wires this way, and then I added one around these strain release right here, because what I didn't want was all this wire coming in, and then this panel, them pushing against this panel, push it down, and then them vibrating into this. So we will have some vibration, some things hitting, but if I can stave that down as much as possible, that's what I was trying to do. Also, added a bunch of construction adhesive around these. I wasn't too confident in the butyl tape, and then I put some of the construction adhesive over the screw heads. You could use silicone. I just have had really good luck with this construction adhesive. And then we worked it around the front as much as possible. So basically what we need to do now is clean this right here. Yep, clean that. And then clean this up as much as we can. If you can see it, it's kind of already, let me see. See, it's already kind of chipping off. So just gonna go over it a bunch with alcohol, clean it as much as possible. Oh, let me show you this. So these strain release in here were pretty complicated to get on. So I used, I believe it's called like a crowfoot. Basically, it's the end of a combination wrench that goes onto a socket, extension. So I'll have a link in the description for that, but this with, I think this is almost like a 1.5 foot extension. If you see that right there, that made it all easy. So basically you just put it in and then you're kind of going quarter turns the whole time, but definitely the only way that was possible. I used a 7/8. It seemed a little loose, so might need something a little tighter, but it worked out well. Got everything tightened. How you'll know it's tightened is you tug on the wires, give them a nice little tug, and if they don't budge, you're pretty good to go. We'll just have to see how everything goes. I feel like I've done everything I could to make sure it doesn't leak, but we'll just have to see if it leaks. I hope it doesn't, but I've done everything I can at this point. So yeah, so I guess what the plan is to run butyl tape here, maybe 2 layers, and then a layer on the outside, and then construction adhesive on the inside, especially around the screw holes, and then to put in the bolts on this side, and then do the same on the other. All right, so right here I'm using rubbing alcohol to clean everything up. If you leave dust and debris, your adhesive will stick to the dust and debris and not to the parts you want it to stick to. So it's good to keep everything nice and clean right before you start to glue it. All right, so right here we start to lay down the butyl tape. I have my wife holding it. It comes in a roll. It's kind of like a sticky putty in a way. It doesn't stick super well to the aluminum, but it sticks well enough. In some parts you can actually see where it starts to bow back down a little bit. All right, so right here we start to peel off the backing to the butyl tape and start laying down all the construction adhesive. I definitely went with a lot here. I was trying to get it to squeeze out everywhere rather than leave some air gaps in there, so I definitely used probably more than I needed to. I think we used maybe 2 tubes per side. There was quite a bit that we went through just to get this thing glued down. All right, so right here I'm taking out the boards I have propping it up. Right here I remove some more boards, getting it down. I think I leave this board in the back, and now we're trying to line it up to that hole. I can tell that it's kind of off, and I start banging it from the back and have my wife line it up. So yeah, it's definitely in there now, and there's a board in the front that I take out. You see it come down, and then I take out this board in the back, and you can see it all kind of squished down now. So I start running in all the screws, just enough to hold it, just to make sure everything is lined up. All right, so now that all the screws are in on this side, I'm backing the screws out, and then I'm putting a bunch of the construction adhesive on the threads and then running them back in, just to make sure that it is a watertight seal and there is tons of adhesive everywhere. Now here's the job of cleaning up all the excess adhesive. I'm using alcohol, wiping it. I usually go through a lot of paper towels right here because it tends to smear, and it takes a while to clean up, but it does clean up eventually. Alright, so now we're working on the other side. We decided not to use butyl tape on this side. Maybe we should have, but we decided not to because of the way the butyl tape was kind of reacting to the other side. So I was figuring if I had to fix the butyl tape side, at least I wouldn't have to fix both sides. I don't think I would use the butyl tape if I was to build all this again. Just didn't really like the way it kept squishing out. So I'm loading this up with a bunch of the adhesive again, and I believe we go through about 2 tubes per side. So I'm really caking it up on this side. So right here you can tell how much I cake it up on this side by how much is squeezing out. So that is not the butyl tape on this side, that is all the construction adhesive just oozing out. And then once we start screwing it down, it starts really coming out a lot more, which I would prefer, so then that way I know that I put more than enough in there to actually seal it and hopefully hold it down. All right, got everything all pushed back in. So I wanted to show you this side first. So this is the butyl tape, and the way it's squished out, so as we tighten these up, this squished out and then continued to squish out all night, just kept squishing out. So that's why we didn't use it on the other side, just kind of not feeling it. We used the Gorilla Construction Adhesive Ultimate. I'll show you a picture of it. And we've used that in the bathroom, and we really liked how, we understand how it reacts. This butyl tape, they say at some point it cures, but I mean, this is literally, I don't know, like half a week later, like at least 3 or 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, like it's still like nothing. So you probably saw on the inside of this, we have butyl tape on this side, butyl tape on this side, and construction adhesive going all the way down. And then we ran around each bolt with construction adhesive. And my concern is that it kept pushing down on this. These kept going out. So are these bolts loose now? But we put a bunch of construction adhesive on the bolts, so they're kind of like locked in now, and I don't really want to undo them. So I think what I'm going to do is just get a razor, slice all this off, and then maybe lay a bead of construction adhesive going all the way down, and then call that good. Also what I did was I put some masking tape right here, and then I put a Sharpie line of where that hole is, because once this is kind of floating in the air and the construction adhesive is on and the butyl tape is on, it's kind of hard to tell where that hole is, because you're kind of shifting this whole thing. And I think that this thing probably weighs in the 200-pound range, because if you add up each panel and then all of the hardware and the angle and the extruded, it's probably in that 175 to 200-pound range. Anyways, this really helped line up that hole. So then I got it in, and then once this one's in, all the other ones were, you know, measured off of that one, so it didn't matter. But I'll take you over to the other side now. Okay, so this side just has the construction adhesive on there, and there's still some parts where I still need to just, you know, clean it off. But overall, it was easier to work with. It was easier to scrape off, and once it cures, it's not moving, and it's pretty solid, pretty hard. I'm pretty, you know, we had, this is what we used in the bathroom, and we found it to be pretty watertight as well. So I'm not thinking I'm going to have any problems on this side. So another thing you might notice is when we screwed these down, it kind of pushed down the middle. So I kind of like it because now this is closer, less apt for wind to get underneath here. The other thing is I'm going to grab it and shake it. Like it's shaking the whole trailer. So there's no give in this right now. So basically this is screwed down and it's glued down. I'm pretty happy with it. I think this will end off this part of the video. The next part is going to be all about wiring. I'll talk about the printed heat shrink that I used and the gun, or I guess this is the label maker that I use with that. Yeah, I guess if you guys have any questions, just leave them down below. I'll have pretty much an extensive list of everything I bought from Amazon, anything from Lowe's or anything like that we used. Before we locked it down, I definitely tested all the panels from the inside to make sure everything was pumping out juice. Just continue to test. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Please like the video. Leave any questions or comments down below. Thanks for watching. In the upcoming videos, we go through the panel layout. We show you all the components we bought, how they interact with each other, and how to lay them out. And then we take you through the wiring, which is really fun and tedious, but is pretty gratifying at the end to see it all nice and lined up and all working. But we go through why we're wiring it the way we're doing it, whether we're going in series or in parallel. You might find this pretty interesting, so please stick around. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That really helps us out.